Good morning, everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes to thank you for the incredible birthday wishes. Some had me in tears, some had me giggling. All in all, it's been an amazing morning. And I also want to thank the world out there for participating in World Eating Disorders Day. This is such an important time to get involved, to be connected. And my involvement started in 2011. Our incredibly wonderful middle child in our blended family was diagnosed with anorexia. And to say that we had no idea of how to help her, how to help ourselves, how to navigate through the illness. The fact that it was daunting once we fully grasped and understood what she needed, what we needed, and even more heartbreaking and daunting when we began to understand that the very specialized help and support that she needed and that we needed as a family was actually not available. It wasn't available in our community. It wasn't available close by. And the occasional time that somebody would say, oh, hey, I heard about and maybe you should look into, and we did. We chased those leads, we followed, we dug and dug, and it just wasn't there. We did a really poor job for 18 months, fighting alongside our child, doing what we were told, oftentimes feeling like we were chasing our tails around in circles as we watched her become more and more unwell. So, like a dog with a bone, which my children will probably giggle about because they know that's what I'm like, we began to educate ourselves and really develop an understanding of what eating disorders are and what they're not. They're not a choice. If you've spent even a day with someone in the grips of this illness, it becomes so evident so quickly that no one would choose this life, choose to live this way. This is an illness. My daughter's brain was sick. And unlike a broken bone, which, you show up in emergency and that bone, boy, it's set because the professionals know that if they leave it, it won't heal right and it will cause grief and pain. So you come ahead of anybody else in the emergency room. You've got a broken bone, they rush you in and they set and they take care of and they fix. When I was diagnosed with cancer in 2014, it didn't even scare me because everybody, the doctors, the professionals, my doctor, they knew what to do. They handed me a binder and said, here, this is your life for the next 6 months. You'll be at this appointment. You'll get this treatment. You'll attend. You'll be seen by. And there was no question that I would get what I needed. And yet my daughter, completely different story. And her risk of losing her life was and is far higher than my risk. And so I got involved and I stay involved. I just recently read a blog post by someone, I've shared it on my page, about perseverance. And she persisted because this illness, fighting for early intervention, for early diagnosis, for access to treatment for the millions, 70 million people worldwide are diagnosed with an eating disorder, and those are the only ones we know about. So many don't come forward. They don't come forward because they're not the stereotypical match criteria for an eating disorder. They're men, they're young, they're old, they're fat, they're thin, they're tall, they're short, and they don't come forward because they don't believe that their worthy of care and treatment, or because if you're in a larger body, people look at you like, what are you talking about? You have anorexia, or you have bulimia, or you have binge eating disorder. And the stigmatization of the population of individuals is rampant, and it has to stop. You cannot tell by looking at someone whether they have an eating disorder. I live in a larger body. I don't have an eating disorder, but you wouldn't know by looking at me if I did, and you can't make assumptions about that. So anyways, thank you. I apologize to my F.E.A.S.T comrades. I missed my spot this morning. I was obviously more technically challenged than I realized and could not figure out how to get on. I hope that I've answered the question as to why eating disorders can't afford to wait. We have to stop losing people, and the suffering has to end. For those affected, I hold you all in my heart. For the families out there looking and desperately in need of being supported as caregivers and of being educated so that they understand this illness that has made its place within the walls of their homes and within the soul and the heart of their child. Please reach out. You can reach out to me directly. You can come to F.E.A.S.T. We're on Facebook. We've got the website www.feast-ed.org. Come find us there. We're ready and willing to hold you up and give you what you need. And oh my goodness, there go the tears again. So anyways, I hope that you're all having an amazing day wherever you are in the world. Thank you to the thousands of advocates that are screaming from the rooftops that eating disorders can't afford to wait. We have to act now. This is a movement. It's growing and it's gaining momentum, and we need you all. We need you all. Thank you.